This is your official Leguizamo spoiler warning. What's that? No, it's not.
Jeez. I hate the word.
Hello and welcome to the Mish and Zach's Leguizamo podcast, where each week for the last many years, two dear friends have watched one thing starring their favourite character actor, John Leguizamo. My name is Zachary Ruane, and the piece of lost media that fascinates me the most has got to be The Day the Clown Cried, the Jerry Lewis Holocaust comedy drama that was either horrifically ahead of its time or way too soon and ill-advised, and we'll never truly know because the film never got finished because of a dodgy financier.
There you go.
I'm joined, as I am always joined, by the wonderful Mish Wittrup, who has asked me to fill while she did a quick Google. And her favourite lost media project is...
Oh, no, you got to me too quickly.
One corker of one. Oh, I can't wait to reveal to you the special, amazing lost media
The lost
thing.
tapes of the Normandy invasion.
And why is that?
I don't know. It was the first thing I saw. I couldn't think of any lost media that really fascinates me. There's things that I haven't seen in a long time that I can't find. There was a movie that I liked heaps as a kid called The Mummy Market. And I have it, but it's not lost. It's out there somewhere.
Sometimes they are. I mean, sometimes they're, sometimes you don't know they're gone. I remember I saw a thing once about, what's the movie?
Sorry,
The Normandy.
No, I just remembered. I was like, what's other things this is where my head went then. I'm like, I've got to think of a lost media thing. But then I was like, Mummy Market. Actually, I think I've spoken about that on the pod before and someone sent me a link. And then I went, what was that show I saw as a kid? There was a bunch of soft toys with a weird sepia, very Drag Race season 1 filter over the top. And they were jumping around in like a land full of like plush vegetables. It's from like the late 80s. And then I just remembered a song that was like, "It's the land of pleasant dreams." I'm like, what is that?
Mish assured me that despite having a few nights where she hasn't had enough sleep, she'd be able to get through this podcast today.
It was the land of pleasant.
We are 1 minute in and she's lost her goddamn mind.
Do you know what show I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God, what the fuck was that show? It was, oh my God, if you search it, it's here.
What's it called?
The Land of Pleasant Dreams.
I'm hoping this is lost media enough that we don't get a copy strike because
it was put
copyright
on
strike.
It was put on YouTube 13 years ago. It has 44,000 views.
Wow.
So people know about that show. I'm so sorry. What a horrible way to open the lost media episode.
No, I think it's the perfect way to open the lost media episode. No, I'm so excited about this. If you haven't gathered yet, today we are talking about John Leguizamo's lost media. Some of these things we may never see. Some of them are probably on some weird torrenting site and we couldn't find, but too bad.
No,
you go.
When we first started this podcast, it was simply just a discovery that both Zach and myself loved this man. And then we looked and went, oh my God, at the time he'd done 150 things on his IMDb when we started this podcast. Yeah. We're like, oh my God, that's heaps. Like, wow, that's so much to watch. By the time we have finished this podcast, we're sitting on like 170 something things that he's done, right?
Wow.
And naturally, in and amongst all of those things would be a small handful of things that we were unable to get our hands on. And that's natural lost media. That's how it goes. And basically, Zach and I are going to take you through the things that throughout this beautiful journey that is Leguizamo, no matter how hard I tried, no matter how many times I Googled it, no matter how many times I requested it on Instagram, no matter how many times I tried to illegally download it onto my old laptop, we were unable to find them.
Disclaimer. Some of you listening will find these things because some of you are freaks and just better at it than we are. And we will take that on notice. If you send us a DM being like, well, here's this thing, here's that thing, we'll take it on notice. But no guarantees we will then cover it because we're approaching the end. So send us your findings. But if it is officially in our books lost media, then that's how it is until we decide what we do with it. That is disclaimer over.
And also some of the fun, that's a very good full stop to that disclaimer. Some of the funnest things that I've come across during this time of doing this podcast were some of the smaller ones that were really hard to find, that weren't an easy get, that were his much smaller projects in his early days or like little bits and pieces and stuff. And my God, that has been a joy to find those little ones.
Very interesting to see.
So I'm sure a lot of these are quite good.
Very interesting to see people at that stage in their career chipping away. So Mish has prepared a bit of a report, and I'll be commenting on it in the style of
Zach, me,
our friends over at Do Go On. I'll be commenting
style
on
of
Mish's
Matt,
report.
Jess, and Dave.
How many were there? Do you have a number?
2, 4, 6, 8.
8.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Wow, 8.
Again, based on his IMDb page. If you go onto his letterbox,
Oh, your letterbox is crazy.
you can't trust that at all. You just can't.
We were like, it'd be really cool to do 100% on his letterbox. And then we went on his letterbox, and there are just ones that are like insane. Like, it's like, we're never going to find
Well,
it.
a lot of them are just like this interview with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's not... We've given you interviews. Do not get us wrong. We have given you interviews in the past, but they were little fun bits, right? In terms of like actual stuff, like our goal was to always do his IMDb filmography.
That was
goal from
the
start.
original. Letterbox was less of a thing then when we started.
Well, that's right. And
All right.
okay, cool.
Here we go.
So the first bit of lost media is a short film from 1990, right? Called That Burning Question. And it is directed by Taylor Allen. Now, from what I saw about this short film, this was Taylor Allen's final short film for his thesis at university.
Oh.
And Taylor Allen is the director of The Sopranos. He's also done directing for Sex and the City and a bunch of HBO stuff. So very successful dude now. And it was a short film about 3 young people that hop on a train to see a man set himself on fire in the name of love.
Wow.
Yeah. And
sounds
one
great.
of the people in it is a woman whose name I have forgotten, of the 3 protagonists, the 3 people on the train. Woman whose name I've completely forgotten. I do apologise. And she was the writer of What's Love Got to Do with It, the Tina Turner story.
Wow.
Bit of fun about that short film. Would have loved to have seen it.
Amazing.
And that was in 1990. So little snaps to us for getting all of his stuff in the 80s, by the
Here's
way.
my question. When we see his stuff in the 90s, right, I think of that. I think of the vampire one. I think of
Night Owl.
Night Owl. Yeah, I think of a few of those 90s ones where I often go, is he like a standout star? Like when I'm watching these ones where it's like just friends of the director or other actors that didn't quite make it, and I'm watching and I go, is he like, wow, he's going to go somewhere? Or are we just like, oh, that's John Leguizamo in the middle of this student film?
Well, I think that about Casualties of War. Do you remember the movie Casualties of War, which I believe was incredibly I saw it, very powerful, but one of those
Crazy
could
powerful.
only watch it once kind of films.
Incredible film.
I mean, I could watch it again, but fuck, it was like that was a
Yeah,
lot.
it was one of the real discoveries of this pod, I felt, for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a Brian De Palma film. It was from 1989, and now having watched, it was definitely a Discovery film, by the way, 100%. But now that we've watched so much of his filmography, in 1989 he was still making student films. That Time Expired short film, that kind of comedy. That was around the same time. So I think Casualties of War would have just been this because it was him and John C. Reilly, who wasn't an established actor, but Michael J. Fox was in that, Sean Penn was in that, and then all these other guys that kind of played the troupe there were just these actors just out of acting school, At that point, Casualties of War, I think John Leguizamo had done Miami Vice and student films.
Yeah, wow.
So I think I can imagine that out of acting school or acting classes that he took, that's that like immediately out. It's like, well, John's going places, man, because he just made a Brian De Palma film.
Yeah. And I mean, he's good.
Yeah, and I mean, That Burning Question, the short film that this was a thesis for university film for Taylor Allen, was the year after that film got released.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Do you know, fun little fact, I'm pretty sure this is true, is that Spielberg did masters, right? He always wanted to do a university thing, so he did a masters or something like that, and his thesis film was Schindler's List. Isn't that a fun story?
Fucking crazy. Well, we watched
just imagine review. Just good, man. Yeah. Good. Good
yeah,
job.
you'll be all right.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
job.
you're good. You off your pop.
Yeah. High distinction, mate.
Yeah, good on you. I think that about it's not for uni, but we watched Bound the other week together. So that's their first film. Like the Wachowski sisters, that's their first film. That's wild. I thought the same thing when I watched Bird Eater. Like, that's your first film? Are you fucking all right?
Yeah.
That's so good. Anyway, the second on our Lost Media list is called, please excuse my pronunciation, Gentil Alouette, or Gentil Alouetti, I think, is the song. And there was very little information on this, but it's 1990, a film by Sergio M. Castilla about an actress being stalked by a colonel. It stars Charlie Chaplin's daughter, Geraldine Chaplin, who has been in a lot of stuff.
Stalked by a colonel?
Yeah.
A colonel?
Yeah.
Not a colonel. I thought it was a corn kernel.
No, not a corn kernel.
Imagine a corn kernel coming after you.
No, not a corn. So Geraldine Chaplin, who is Charlie Chaplin's daughter, was in I think Dr. Zhivago and stuff like that.
Really?
Jurassic World, a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin and Una O'Neill, who is her mother.
Here's my question to the listener from the US or from the UK. Is colonel and colonel, as in the, colonel as in, when you say colonel, were you meaning as in the army rank? As in the man who made the chicken?
I believe so.
Colonel, well, yeah, colonel.
I wasn't talking about corn.
But is that a pun or is that a homonym? Is homonym the word? Is that a homonym with other accents? Do Americans say those two words the same, or is that just because we pronounce things weird? We don't pronounce our R's in Australia. That's my question to you. Let me know in the comments of the YouTube or in the Spotify comments that you can do now,
Yes,
or
please.
wherever you get your podcasts.
And then this is the cool thing that I realised when I was doing this list based on IMDb. Is from 1990 to the year 2000, we watched everything.
Bam, 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 bam.
Everything. And then in the year 2000, he made a film that he starred in called King of the Jungle. And that's a movie about a young man in New York who witnesses the murder of his mother.
We saw that one.
No, we didn't. We didn't do an episode on it. We can confess now if you'd like. I don't mind. I'm happy to.
Look up the plot. You'll figure out why we didn't do an episode on that. Next.
It's so funny because
Look up the plot. You'll figure out why
Zach,
we didn't do it.
In my life, Zach, and how long I have known you and how long I've worked with you and loved you and been invested in you, there are times where you, I think, know me better than I know me.
Yes.
You're able to kind of read me better than a lot of people, and you're able to kind of look at me and know what it is that I need. And I think it's reciprocated.
Yeah.
But in a moment where I need you to look at me and know exactly what I'm thinking and line up with me exactly, you just can't get there.
Are you talking about right now?
Yeah. No, fuck it. I mean, I don't care. It was a movie we decided not to do an episode on.
Yeah, we've established that. All right, carry on. Next up.
The next one's an untitled project. An untitled TV movie directed by Brett Ratner, who was the director of Red Dragon and Rush Hour, like a very well-known director now. The year 2000, a TV movie, John starring alongside Claire Filani, who happens to be the woman in Meet Joe Black. Fun fact. But there's no information on it. It's an untitled project.
Is that Linda? No, different actor?
No.
Well, there you go. Okay, cool.
The next one is another TV movie called
TV movies that are hard to find. So, we struggled a lot to get a few of these.
And this is the following year. So this is 2006. And in those early noughties years, there was a lot of John doing lots of TV movies, small projects, one-liners, pilots. A lot of that. That was the era of John doing that stuff. So this is an undercover cop relies on his past connections as a con artist to catch crooks. Director Kevin Rodney Sullivan, who directed How Stella Got Her Groove Back, was attached to this film. How Stella Got Her Groove Back is an Angela Bassett. I love Angela Bassett and Whoopi Goldberg together. Gorgeous, delicious, about a film about a woman in her 40s who wants a man in his early 20s. Nice. But the combination of Angela Bassett and Whoopi Goldberg as best friends is yum, yum, yum for my tum-tum-tum.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I actually would need to see it to see how their dynamic works. I've not seen it.
I have.
I think it'd be great. They're both great actors.
It's a horny film.
Oh.
Not between Angela and Whoopi, but Angela and Whoopi together in it are very lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the next one, we go from 2006 all the way to 2016. Mish finds all the projects. Although by this point they are quite easy to find. He's a well-known actor. He's doing things that are, you can find them.
Yeah, kudos to Mish. Mish is the one that found everything else.
Thank you. Well, and I found them. Sometimes I just went on Instagram. I was like, please help. And someone would send me the link to the stuff. And I really appreciated it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Shout out to all the fans.
Shout out to you because we could not have done this genuinely without you. So the next one is called Taxi 22, and it's a TV series from 2016. So my guess is it's a pilot. Yeah. Now, Taxi 22 is based on a French-Canadian series that ran on Quebec TVA from 2007 to 2009. This Taxi 22, the TV series from 2016, stars John Leguizamo as a politically incorrect New York cab driver working and surviving in modern Manhattan, which seems like to me, of course he's cast in that role. That would be a very fun thing to watch him play. It seems very, very up his street. That kind of character, that the kind of people that he would meet. I'm sure it could have been a bit of a fun show had it been picked up
It's one of those ones where so often, look at this. Actor James Gandolfini was developing a pilot for an American adaptation which will air on HBO if picked up as a regular series.
It did not. But James Gandolfini, a lot of Sopranos stuff in this Lost Media.
So maybe he was like going to play one of the customers. Maybe he played one of the people getting the taxi.
Well, my guess is that each episode would maybe have a different person in the cab, which I love the idea of. It's very theatre-y to me.
Would you like to hear about that? I just looked up Taxi 022, which is the Canadian OG. The series stars Patrick Horde as Montreal cab driver Rogatien Dubois Jr. The first season is predominantly set inside Dubois' dark blue taxi, a Ford Crown Victoria, and the comedy unfolds through his interactions, usually opinionated and deeply held, with the guest stars and other passengers who ride in his cab. Season 2 expanded the show's narrative to focus more on stories and characters outside of the taxi. Dubois speaks a thickly accented and rapidly delivered Quebec slang. Man, that sounds like such an easily adaptable thing.
Oh, yeah. I hear that and I see, like, it seems like very theatre-y. It's the kind of thing that if America had picked it up 10 years later, Australia would have done one. No, but truly, like a really fun concept. Really great to get a bunch of different actors
Very
in.
HBO. Like when I hear James Gandolfini as the taxi driver, and then you've got John Leguizamo in, you've got HBO.
No, John was the taxi driver.
Is that what it says
yes,
here?
Yeah.
So
John was going to star
attempt.
as a politically incorrect New York cab driver working and surviving in modern Manhattan.
So there was a separate attempt with James Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini was just producing it or directing it. rather than
Maybe,
being in
yeah.
it.
Or maybe there was. I could see them trying to do this multiple times. I can see this as a development hell thing because I hear that idea and I go, I can imagine if you had the rights to that, you would just try to make that for like 10 years and you'd just keep trying to bubble it along and you go, oh, now this actor's attached. But
Just think about
also,
all the cool different actors. If every episode was based on a different person that comes in your cab, think of all the cool...
It's very Safdie brothers. It's
very Safdie brothers.
It's very... who are those other brothers? The
Teskey brothers.
There's other, but like they do a lot of HBO stuff. They're producers and directors and actors. But yeah, it's very interesting. I here's my other hot take though. I think it sounds like the original is very drenched in culture. Like the way it sounds very Quebec-y and like it sounds, and I think that's sometimes where America really falls apart. It's like when they tried to do Kath and Kim.
Or the King of Van Nuys.
Where they often go, they struggle with this idea. The only time they've ever pulled it off was The Office, where they go, oh, here's a really good structure. And what I've heard actually, I was just like, here's a really good structure. And then they don't then go, all right, but now let's just make a completely new thing with that idea. Let's take the elevator pitch and make a new thing. I reckon I can see them trying to capture the vibe and the look and the feel, and then suddenly it becomes this weird thing where it's like, oh, this should just be Quebec-y. And apparently I've seen a lot of interviews with Stephen Merchant. Apparently a huge reason why the US office is so good is I think he and Ricky Gervais were both like, do your own thing. They're like, from the perspective of British people, we're over here. Like they weren't particularly involved in the production, but they just kept being like, we've seen this fail so many times, and the reason it fails is because you try. And they kept trying to be like, oh, what's this mean? And it's like, don't do that. Just do what's funny. Take the Office idea and do your own thing. And I reckon that's why it keeps falling apart. Yeah. But I want to see Taxi 22.
I want to see the Quebec-y one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one is just a year later, and it's called Salamander. And can you guess what it was?
It's about a salamander.
No. What kind of medium?
Television.
Yeah, a movie. A TV movie called
A lot of pilots. I reckon these are all pilots.
2017, a brilliant but misanthropic engineer recruits a skeptical Homeland Security agent to help him track a mysterious bank robber whose theft of 66 specific safety deposit box belonging to elite and powerful sets in motion a series of blackmails that might be linked to a greater conspiracy. Can I just say that if that had become a series and we had to watch that, that might have sent me over the edge.
Do you know how I know it would have sent me over the edge? Ask me what the story is.
What's the story?
Of what you just described. I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you a fucking thing.
You just told me, and it was so in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, the elevator pitch for this is would be horrendous.
Might be a great show, but
oh yeah,
not for talking about.
No. So that was called Salamander. It has a cool poster attached to it though.
Oh.
Okay, and then the last one. The last bit of lost media is a film called Dark Blood from 2021. Now, I have some things to say about this movie. This movie is accessible, apparently. You can get it. You can get it on DVD, sent to your home. There is a streaming service called Plex, which is not always incredibly reliable, but it's on there, right? I got Plex, and I tried to play this film on Plex, and it has no dialogue. So there's dialogue in the film, but for some reason on Plex, you can't watch this film with dialogue. So I then ordered the DVD to come to my house. I was not home to pick up that DVD when it was attempted delivery. It got sent back and I got refunded. I then tried to get it delivered again and it got lost in the post. I could not get access to this film. I tried everything. And the only way I could find it was through Plex without dialogue. So if you would like to watch Dark Blood, please go ahead. Or if it happens to come across my desk at some point, I will watch this film. But we are calling it Lost Media because for me, I'm lost in trying to find it.
This is our greatest tragedy, I think, the Dark Blood, because
It's our greatest tragedy.
because he's so in the
So
poster and it
in
looks
it.
so interesting.
Looks like such an interesting
Here's
film.
a quote, a career best performance from Leguizamo. Looks so interesting.
It's from 2021. It's literally only a few years ago. It's in Spanish. It's a Spanish film, I believe. It's also called Perros, I believe. But yeah.
Crazy.
So I want to, no, you know what? I'm not going to apologize because I did my best.
You tried. God knows
I
you tried.
really tried. And that,
That's all the Lost Media.
dear listeners, is our Lost Media.
That's that's it. Maybe one day we'll collect them all together. We'll find them. Maybe one day we'll watch them. Maybe not, because that's 2 months of our lives. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's so interesting though, coming to this stage where it's like you watch all of the, we watched so much of his filmography and we come down to the, it's like, I just feel like all of those ones I said I want to see. Like I want to see that, except that Salamander one was a bit off. But like I am keen to, if you come across them, please send them through because we may watch them. Like we might do that. But some things just kind of
Sometimes you gotta
like sand
know
through your
when
fingers.
to hold them.
Know when to fold them. Know when to ride them. Know when to run.
That's how we're going to end this.
No, well, wait. No, we can't just end it like that.
No, while I look up the lyrics, we'll
So-
talk about other stuff.
No, well, what I will say is that this isn't our final episode of Leguizamo.
No, we'll be letting you know next Tuesday what we'll be doing. But we thought we didn't want to end on this weird note of the stuff we hadn't watched. So we've got a bit of an idea. We've still got a little over a month of Leguizamo to go. And we'll be letting you know the full details of what we're going to be doing on Tuesday. But essentially, if you count this, it's done. Like we've watched everything we can watch.
We have. That's so weird, dude. That's weird. I'm genuinely very, very excited for the last few weeks of Leguizamo though.
And I got to say, it feels a little dusty that we're ending on this like,
But we're not ending
We
on
couldn't
this.
find them. We couldn't. And that's why we didn't want to end on this, because I feel like you're all feeling like, oh, we didn't. So we're going to end. We're not at the end here. We've still got a month or so. Tune in on Tuesday. That's just the normal Mish and Zach episode where we'll be announcing and explaining what we're going to be doing for the last month or so. Mish, what a thrill this has been.
It really has. Wild.
I think it's been a wonderful project, and I think we'll even talk about all of that
Oh, that's all
when
coming.
we get
yeah.
to it. Let's
Let's just leave this as Lost Media.
This is the weird one.
This is a weird one.
This is the weird
And
episode.
we did one on Planet Hollywood red carpet once, and this one still feels weirder
I think
than
it's
that.
weird because he's still making stuff as well. Like we've just had to go.
Yeah, we still want to see the Odyssey.
We're
by the
still
way.
going to watch The Odyssey. Whether we talk about it, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I have the lyrics to The Gambler, by the way.
Well, I want to get it up as I've decided I want to get it up as a karaoke.
So I only want to do the chorus though.
Well, unfortunately for you, I want to do the whole thing. Folks, thank you so much for coming on this journey. See you on Tuesday. Mish, what's the Lost Media you most want to watch?
I don't know. I want to go back and check out that Land of Pleasant Dreams thing, which isn't Lost Media. You can find it. It's on YouTube.
Oh, that. All right, Mish, here we go. With a karaoke version of Kenny Rogers' The Gambler. This is our song.
I have the
about-
lyrics. Do you have the lyrics?
Oh, well. Yeah, it'll be on the karaoke of it all. Here we go.
How good's Kenny Rogers?
Now, I could have plugged this in so it sounded good, but whatever. Sorry, this sounds bad, everyone.
On a warm summer's evening,
I don't know how
on a
this goes.
train bound for nowhere, we were
met up with the gambler.
We were both too tired to sleep.
I don't know how this goes.
So we took turns of staring
out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes."
This is so Aussie.
Don't mind me saying, I could see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow, and he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. Sorry for people that know how this song actually goes. No. Quiet. And
his face lost all expression. Said, if you're going to play the game, boy. Here we go. Here we go.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
That's enough.
Every gambler knows. We'll skip it. Skip. Sometime in the darkness. Oh yeah, all right. Somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Yeah! Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. And know when to run. And never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Mish Sharp, thank you for coming on this journey with me, and thank you for knowing when to fold 'em.
And thank you for knowing when to hold 'em.
The Mish and Zach Podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We believe that our collective culture will never reach its full potential until we embrace the history and the truth of the oldest cultures of this land.